This is our lesson 1. How to study Chinese and solve tones, characters problems. Before we formally start, I'd like to ask you 2 questions. First, are you a newer or an older in Chinese? Or you are a newer and you are an older. Okay, the second question is, if you are an older, please tell me what's your Chinese level? Oh, why? I heard so many students said they are still a beginner level. If it is this, shouldn't you to reflect? Why? Is there something wrong with your learning ways? Did you think about how to study Chinese before you first start to learning Chinese? Oh, no, I know you didn't think about it. You just go. That's why now we together here. We will discuss how to study Chinese together to make up something, to correct something. Okay, let's start. A. How to study Chinese. About this, generally, there are 3 ways. First, study at school. Second, immersion learning. The third is self-study. If you study at school, such as go to Confucius Institute or go to university, or you just have a private tutor, that means you study in a systematic way. You have textbooks, teachers teach you face to face. That's easy. You don't need to think how to study. You just follow teacher's design. It's easy. The second is immersion learning. Maybe you go to China, totally a language environment, or you don't need to go to China. Maybe there are some Chinese factories in your city, in your country. You go to work in Chinese factory. You have Chinese co-workers. You can learn Chinese by talking with them. It's natural. You don't need to think about how to study Chinese. It's okay. If conditions available for you to go to school or have got immersion learning, that's best or better. But I know most of you know self-study. Maybe you just go to YouTube. YouTube promote some teachers' lessons. You just open, you just go to watch. You don't understand, but you just watch. Then you go to another teacher, you watch. Maybe you study a long time. You never really understand. Or you bought some books, paper dictionaries, or download online dictionaries. Or you go to Facebook group. Or you attend some teachers' live class, just like today you attend my live lesson class. I know you are confused. You don't know how to go on, how to carry on. But I tell you, even you study, self-study, you still can get a systematic way to learning Chinese. How? First, you should to know what's the system. Look at this drawing, this step by step, from bottom to the upper side, from basic Chinese to advanced. Please recall, when you first start your native language, such as English, of course, you start learning by alphabet or letters, consonants, vowels, and sound mark. Then words. It's the common rules learning any language. The same goes for learning Chinese. Learning Chinese, first, the basics is learning pinyin and character. Pinyin includes letters, initial, final, and tones. Letters, English and Chinese share the 26 letters in common, just pronunciation different, but they are easy. And the Chinese initial correspond to English consonants. The two almost the same, still easy, not a problem. And final, Chinese finals correspond to English vowels, but easier than English vowels, because Chinese finals only made up of letters. You know letters, you know finals. English sound mark has letters and non-letters. It's complicated than Chinese finals. Then tones. I know tones is a problem. Later, in this B part, we will solve the tone problem. About characters. You think characters is difficult to learn, to write, to memorize. It's not a truth. Today I will let you know it's almost easier than learn English words. Later you will know. In C part, we will solve the characters problems. Okay, this is the basics. After you know how to pronounce pinyin, how to write characters, then you can begin to learn some words, vocabularies, or in Chinese, characters and vocabularies. It is read and write characters such as nouns, adjectives, verbs, prepositions, adverbs, etc. Then you have mastered some characters, vocabularies. You can go on to speak Chinese. That is to make sentences or to talk, speak everyday speeches or practical Chinese. These two you can learn in sync or you can learn separately. These two, there is no difference. This ahead or this ahead. You can learn together or separate. Then you can go on to learn others, such as learn to sing Chinese song or Chinese cooking recipe, or learn with pictures, videos, because they are different with everyday speeches or practical Chinese. Later, you go up to more advanced, then you can naturally learn some grammar. Chinese grammar is very easy. It is to learn Chinese. At first, it's very difficult, but after you master the basic, then everything will be okay. This is one system. Look here, we have another system. We call the HSK system. Look at the number. You know it's easy to follow. From HSK1 to HSK6. This for foreigner students who want to go to China to study. You can study these two systems together, in sync, or you can choose one of them. It's up to you. But these two are their system. Now you know what's their system. Then, even you study, you teach yourself, you still can learn in a systematic way. How? Such as you follow a teacher who teaches in systematic way. For example, I teach in systematic way. But I know most of their teachers, they teach casually. Just like here, look at this. Oh, this reflect. What's this like? Looks like a fireworks. Where is the start? No, you don't know where is the start. Now that you know what's the system, later, even you don't follow a teacher who teaches in system, you can manage yourself a system. Just follow these two. First, you go to YouTube, you look for pinyin character lessons. After you master the pinyin and the characters, you can go on to look for read and write characters and make a sentence, every speeches, others advanced. You can arrange yourself a system. To sum up, learn any language. Of course, learn Chinese. You must to study in a systematic way. Now that you know this, hope you later to study in a system way. I believe you will make a quick progress. If you think I have learned so long time, why I over back to learn from basics? Because you didn't solid a foundation very good. You need makeup. Then you can go on quick. Okay, this first. B. Tones. You know Chinese pinyin has 4 tones. The first tone, the second tone, the third tone, the fourth tone. Here are the mark. First tone, second tone, third tone, fourth tone. Take A as an example. In Chinese, A pronounced R. Take R as example. We pronounce these 4 tones. They are R, 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 R. So how to solve tones problem? Very simple, very easy. If you know English 4 tones, you will learn Chinese pinyin tones very easy. Let's compare. What's English tones? Maybe you don't know. Of course you know. English has 4 tones also. The flat tone, somewhat English flat tone, similar as Chinese first tone. English rising tone, somewhat similar as Chinese second tone. And English falling tone, it's almost the same with Chinese fourth tone. And English has a lot of weak tones. In Chinese, we call soft tone. In Chinese, we have only 4 tones. Soft tone, not an inherent tone. Just the 4 tones lose their original pronunciation, change to pronounce weak, soft, light, and short in some situation, but almost equal. I said somewhat similar. It is to say up to a point similar, not exactly the same, but you still can learn Chinese tones through learning English tones. Oh, and the Chinese third tone. Chinese third tone is about a transition from a soft tone to a second tone. Later, I will tell you. To foreigner, the 4 tones and the soft tones, only the first tone and the second tone more difficult. So we solve the first tone and second tone first. Do you know many English nouns, their first syllable, they pronounce very similar as Chinese, the first tone. Let's check these words. Listen, please. Baby, 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 baby. Of course, it is first tone. And this one, father, father, of course. Mother, mother, ma. And future, the first tone. And often, all the first tone. Now, did you get it? English already has the similar first tone of Chinese pinyin. Okay? Now, the second tone. I know there is no second tone in English words, but in English sentences, some words pronounce just like Chinese second tone, especially in English question. Let's check here. Will you please? Will you, 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 you? Yes, you is the second tone. And this, which school do they attend? Which, we, also the second tone. Now here, did you shine at school? You, the same. So you get the second tone in English questions. Just I pronounce the end of these questions in falling tone. Now we change to rising tone. You can find more second tone. Look. Will you please? Will you please? You, Li. And this, which school do they attend? Which and attend. This, did you shine at school? Gu. See, really are Chinese second tone. Now, you are familiar with English tones. And now you know some English tones really similar as Chinese tones. You can try to find them all. Okay, now we talk about the third tone. Just now we learned the third tone, almost a transition from a soft tone to a second tone. How to understand it? Let me to tell you this. 死骨. Just now we pronounce 死骨. S is a weak tone or soft tone. 骨 is a second tone. So 骨 together, just like the Chinese third tone. And these two words, we is just weak tones or soft tone. You is second tone. You just like 你好 from weak to second tone. Not one word, but you can these two words, but together, just like the third tones. About the falling tones, the fourth tones, English have a lot of falling tones that almost exactly just like fourth tones. Like this. Two is the fourth tone. Two. Two. Tone. Weak. Third. They all really are Chinese fourth tone. You familiar with English tones? And English tones, you can get Chinese four tones and soft tones. So that's easy. It's no more difficult for you because you already know there are four tones. Just you didn't realize, English tones and Chinese tones, almost the same or similar. Okay? I think now you understand. Okay, now we go on to the last problem. Part C, character structure. When you learn English words, you feel easy because English words are made up of letters. The letters, 26 letters, they are solid. But I tell you, Chinese character structure, the character parts are solid too. Now I explain you two Chinese character structure, you will understand. First, in Chinese, there are two kinds of characters. Single character and compound character. But what are single character and compound characters? Look at here. Every day made up of every and day. Every and day, each is a single word. They join together. Every day is a compound word. And look at here, textbooks, text and book. Each is a single word. They together is a compound word. Now look at here, tomorrow, English tomorrow, in Chinese is 明天. 明 morning 明天 天 天. 明 made up of two parts, 日 and 月 月 each is a single character. 日月 together from the min, min is a compound character. And the 天 可以按天 we can divide it to 一 and 大 and 大 or 二 and 人 or 大 each is a single character. 天 is a compound character. And 一 also is a stroke. 二人 each is a single character. 二人 together formed 天 is compound character. The difference is in English. There are few compound words. Most of English words are single words. On the contrary, in Chinese, most of characters are compound characters. Now let's learn the Chinese character structure. Because most of characters are compound characters. So what's the compound character structure? Look this first. Compound character made up of single character. Then single character made up of strokes. Or we can say strokes form single character. Then single character form compound characters. So you only need to know those single characters. You can write compound characters. And there are few single characters. Common single characters only 100 to 200. That's to say, you only need to learn 100 to 200 common single characters. Then you can write compound characters. As for strokes, it's very simple. Chinese strokes only 6 to 8 basic strokes. Horizontal, vertical, left falling, right falling, left lift, right lift, double and vertical hook. Then we have 25 derived strokes from these double strokes. Just look at here. This and this and this. They are derived strokes from this tool. So Chinese strokes is so easy. You look English strokes. O is a circle, Y and E. Very complicated. Chinese strokes just learn and lift. Very simple. Now we learn another structure. The second structure, still compound character, made up of single character with component or single character with radical. And you know single character or component, they made up of strokes. Now look at here. Character. Character in Chinese is 汉字 和 an 汉字一字 Han made up of two parts. This is a single character, also a radical. And this is a single character. So Han made up of single character with component or with radical. 字 two parts, this and this. This is a component or radical. This is a single character, 子. So 字 made up of single character and radical. We have learned strokes, and we have learned single character, only 100 to 200 common single character. Now we talk about component or radical. Component or radical only 50 to 60, and in these 50 or 60 components, most of them are also single characters, or some single characters are also components. That's to see single character and components. There are coincides in single character and components. The pure component except the single character components only dozen to 20. Now you know compound character made up of single character, or compound character made up of single character with component. Sometimes single character with component and with strokes. But the basic is compound character made up of single character. Only 100 to 200 common single character and a dozen to 20 components and a few simple strokes. Later, you only need to learn the few strokes and a dozen to 20 pure components and 100 to 200 single characters is okay. It's more easier than to learn English words because most of English words are single words. Single words, each word different. But most Chinese are compound character. Compound character only need to learn 100 to 200 single character. Of course, learning to write Chinese character easier than learn English words. It's to say learn Chinese at first difficult, but later easier and easier. But learn English at first beginning is easier, but later more difficult. And you will really get to understand, learn Chinese very easy because Chinese grammar very simple. You don't need to care about it, such as Chinese verbs don't change with tense. Chinese nouns has no difference between single and plural nouns. Even you read article, Chinese version very short, English version almost 4 to 5 times longer than Chinese. When I read English article, I like to translate by Google, then I can read quickly. Understand? So really, when you understand, learn Chinese has its rules, its system, and learn Chinese tones. You can through learning English tones to get to understand and get to familiar with Chinese tones. Learn Chinese character, just need to learn strokes, few components, few single character. How nice! I believe now you feel confident. Okay, carry on, go for it. If you really want to learn Chinese, I'm here to help you. Okay, that's all for today. See you. Bye. 再见。